Good morning. How is everyone? Today is July 30th and I'm back here to speak to you again, continuing our conversation on You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters. The book is co-written with Menas Kafatos, who is a quantum physicist, cosmologist, climate change expert. So today's question comes from Aidan Cahill. And Aidan Cahill says, hello, about half a year ago on LSD I experienced cosmic consciousness. It began with hallucinating the feedback loop from formless awareness to perceptual experience and then back to formless awareness. I was introduced to Leela. Leela, of course, is the cosmic play. Maya is the veil. They're both goddesses. So Maya is the goddess that puts on the veil of the mind to obscure reality, to localize reality, and Leela is the cosmic play. So these two goddesses, in a sense, cooperate to basically create what we can call cosmic censorship. So the world that we experience is one of veiled non-locality. The veil is the mind, the human mind or the local mind or the appearance of the local mind. So veiled non-locality as a result of cosmic censorship. And Aidan went back and forth between the veil and between what is behind the veil. You know, in a way, Rumi, many other mystics have had this experience. Rumi says, this is not the real reality. The real reality is behind the veil. In truth, we are not here. This is our shadow. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so then Aidan Cahill goes on to say, since then I've been meditating frequently and everything's just amazing. Now I understand why the Buddha on the morning of his final awakening, just held a rose to his followers and said nothing. Anyway, there's the background. I was wondering, is this experience a rare experience? Am I lucky to have had it? Is that a good simulation of what death is? Will I have it again without the help of psychedelic substance? Great question from Aidan. So before I answer the question, let me share with you that I experimented twice with LSD about 45-50 years ago when I was a medical student in India at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. We had some visiting students from Harvard Medical School in India, and they brought with them some LSD, and one day they basically convinced me to try it. And then the same week I tried it again. And here is what I have to say about it. I had the same experience as Aidan Cahill. I went back and forth between form and formlessness. And the form was beautiful, celestial, divine, with a visit to what the Hindu mythology is called Swarga Loka, the domain of gods and goddesses. And it was beautiful. I heard music, I saw amazing colors, I saw sensual, everything seemed sensual, and it was sensual delight. there was amazing richness of experience. Amazing richness of experience. And the interesting thing was that there's a part of my mind, even during the experience, that said that the celestial realms of Leela are as much projections as the physical realm of daily experience, and that one did not have a privileged position over the other. One was the upgrade, as I've said many times, of the illusion, but they were both illusions. But the experience of formless being as pure existence and pure awareness is a very worthy experience, because it is in a sense not an experience, it is the certainty of existence without form. So in that sense it's not an experience, it's just the certainty of existence without form. Now I have to say, since then I also had an experience with ayahuasca in Ecuador, in the Amazon, under the supervision of shamans. And it was very similar. For those who are not accustomed to experiencing boundlessness in meditation, which I'm now accustomed to, it can be frightening to some extent, because the boundaries of the body start to dissolve first, and then the boundaries of the floor and the walls and where you are, all the boundaries of the room, etc. And also in this case it happened to be an open air cemented platform, but everything started to melt away into formlessness, in even the trees and the clouds and the sky and the earth. And as the boundaries dissolved, there was the fear in the beginning of death or extinction, but what it actually resulted in is the certainty of formless existence as the fundamental nature of all existence. So for me it was worthwhile. Now, having said all of this, I also have to say that I had no desire to experiment with either LSD or ayahuasca after that. No personal desire, but I did understand the rituals of the shamans with plant medicines. And what I also concluded was that although hallucinogens under supervision and shamanic rituals can be a window to reality, they are basically also for some people distractions. And so I go back to what Nisargadatta Maharaj has said in many of his teachings. He and other teachers of non-duality, including Atma, Nanda, Krishna Menon, Nisargadatta Maharaj, Sri Ramana Maharishi, etc., and the great teachers of Vedanta and yogic traditions, have said all experiences are a distraction, because existence without experience is fundamental reality. And what you need to really do if you want to be grounded in fundamental reality is pay attention to yourself, to being, and not be distracted by experience. So Nisargadatta Maharaj also says, you don't pay enough attention to the self, to yourself, only to your experiences. And so while these experiences can be windows to non-local fundamental existence, they can also be distractions. So if you want to really understand and be centered and be grounded in reality, then you should always transcend to that which is beyond all experience, transcend to that which is beyond the subject-object split. And that is pure consciousness. So pure consciousness is fundamental reality. Now I have something more to share with you about this in just about 15 seconds, okay? So back in 15 seconds. So I'm back here, and what I was saying before the short break was yes, Rishikesh Dikshit, the I neither goes nor comes, only experience appears and disappears. I is the timeless factor in every time-bound experience. Okay, so I had promised that I was going to share something with you, and that is that recently I have been engaged in conversations by researchers in the neuropsychiatric field who are using hallucinogens like psilocybin, which is similar to what is in mushrooms. So psilocybin can be synthetic or derived from mushrooms. And these researchers have been looking at the use of these hallucinogens and others in patients with terminal illness who are confronting imminent death and confronting imminent physical death. And actually what they find is that in many of these patients, after a single experiment, they lose the fear of death because they experience, first of all, non-local reality. Everything seems to be inseparable. They also experience ineffable love, but they also experience formless being and the certainty of existence without form. And as a result of that, they no longer feel the fear of death. So these researchers and I shall be collaborating a little bit more. They, of course, are the experts in neuroscience, and I will only be offering my insights through meditation and my own experiences of formless being, of formless existence. At the same time now, there is a worldwide movement, particularly strong in the United States, on what is called microdosing. So microdosing with hallucinogens of all kinds under supervision, opening up these little windows to non-local reality. And there is another movement which is very strong right now, which is the use of cannabinoids, which are cannabis derivatives, mostly non-psychoactive, but they seem to cut down inflammation in the body. They also seem to reduce anxiety, and in some cases people are using microdosing along with other technologies like brain biofeedback, virtual reality, augmented reality, and meditation. So that is happening. It's part of our culture right now. And I think we'll all learn from all these serious investigators who are trying to understand reality beyond all form and phenomena. My personal opinion right now is there is a room for everything as long as it is done out of sobriety, under supervision, part of an ancient ritual or a modern adaptation of that ancient ritual. But in my stage of life right now, I, in a sense, have gone beyond these experimental excursions into being grounded in being in formless awareness and then playing from there. The meaning of yogast guru karmani, established in yoga, perform action. To be engaged and detached, to regularly dance between being and doing. The Frank Sinatra song, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo. So that's my offering to you for today. Thank you for supporting the book. Teresna from Ireland. Thank you, Teresna. Thank you for being there. Thank you for, again, supporting the book. Thank you for engaging in this conversation. And thank you for our collective expansion of consciousness. Only that can heal the world. Healing is the return of the memory of wholeness. And when we are healed, we are holy. And we're all on this journey together. Okay? So, in the meanwhile, doobie doobie doo.